Once upon a time, in a bustling railway station, an old beggar named Ramu sat on a torn piece of cloth near the entrance. His clothes were ragged, covered in dust, and his face bore the marks of years of hardship. Every day, he stretched out his hand, hoping for a few coins from the rushing crowd. He believed that this was his fate, that life had nothing better to offer him. The thought of change never crossed his mind. The station was always filled with people, travelers carrying their heavy bags, vendors shouting to sell their goods, and children running around excitedly. But no one paid attention to Ramu. To them, he was just another beggar, invisible in the chaos. He had grown used to the indifference of people, but deep inside, a small part of him wished for a better life. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a well-dressed businessman stepped out of the station. He had just completed an important deal and was eager to return home. As he walked past, Ramu instinctively reached out his trembling hand and mumbled, "Sir, a little help, please." "Just a few coins." The businessman stopped and looked at him for a moment. Unlike others, he did not ignore Ramu or drop a coin without thinking. Instead, he asked, "Why do you beg every day?" Ramu was taken aback. No one had ever asked him this question before. He hesitated, then replied, "Sir, I have no other choice. This is my life. What else can I do?" The businessman sighed. "What if I told you that your life is a reflection of your thoughts? You believe you are a beggar, so you remain one. But if you change your thoughts, you can change your life." Ramu frowned. "That is easy for you to say. You are rich, and I am poor. What can I change?" The businessman smiled and took out a 100-rupee note. He handed it to Ramu and said, "Here, take this. But before you spend it, think of how you can use it to earn more instead of just eating for a day." Ramu looked at the note, confused. "But what can I do with this?" "That is for you to decide," the businessman replied. "But remember, if you keep thinking like a beggar, you will remain one. Think like a businessman, and you will become one." With that, the businessman walked away, leaving Ramu deep in thought. That night, Ramu could not sleep. The businessman's words echoed in his mind. He had never considered the possibility of change before. But now, a seed had been planted. The next morning, instead of begging, Ramu walked around the market. He observed people buying and selling goods. He saw a fruit vendor selling bananas and decided to use the money to buy some bananas at a wholesale price. Standing at the station entrance, he started selling them one by one. By evening, he had made a small profit. Encouraged, he repeated the process the next day, buying more bananas and selling them. Slowly, he started selling other fruits as well. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. He worked hard every day, waking up early and setting up his stall. He learned how to bargain, how to attract customers, and how to save money. His confidence grew with each passing day. Soon, he had saved enough money to rent a small shop near the station. The same people who once ignored him now bought from him daily. He was no longer just a beggar, he had become a businessman. His shop expanded, and he hired a few workers to help him manage the growing business. Years later, a familiar face walked into his store. It was the businessman. He looked around, surprised to see a well-stocked shop with customers buying fruits and vegetables. "Do you remember me?" the businessman asked with a knowing smile. Tears welled up in Ramu's eyes. "Sir, I owe you everything. You didn't just give me money, you gave me a new way of thinking. You changed my life." The businessman chuckled. "No, my friend. You changed your own life the moment you changed your thoughts." Ramu nodded and said, "I now understand that our thoughts create our future. If we think like failures, we fail. If we think like winners, we win." The other beggars, who once mocked Ramu, now watched him with admiration. Some even came to him, asking how they could change their own lives. Ramu smiled and said, "It all begins with changing your thoughts." Moral of the story: Your thoughts shape your reality. If you believe you are stuck, you will remain stuck. But if you choose to think differently, you can transform your life. Change your thoughts, and you will change your life.